Hey YouTube, I'm busy trying out Premiere Pro, honestly, for the first time. I think I've used it for 2 days now, and you're probably thinking, Dasha, what could you possibly teach me when you've only been using it for 2 days? But hey, I was looking for something, I couldn't find it on the internet, so I thought if I'm struggling to find it, I can imagine other people are too. So let me create a video for you so that you don't have to struggle like I did. It's a simple problem. How do we perfectly center our text? Okay, so we've written out everything we want to write out. Now we want it to be correctly placed in our video or movie or whatever. 2 techniques that I've discovered, and I'm not by any means a Premiere Pro professional, so please don't shoot me if there are other ways to do this. If there are other ways to do this, please let me know down below, and I will explore it, because we're all here to learn from each other at the end of the day. First technique is a bit strange, so I'm just going to unselect everything in the timeline. Okay, these things are called workspaces apparently, so this is the editing workspace. That is important. You need to be in the editing workspace. If you're not and you're working on CC 2018, at the top here you'll see it says assembly, editing, color, effects, audio, blah blah blah. Okay, click the editing one and then you're in the editing workspace. That is important. Okay, once you've done that, you want to specifically select the text that you've written in the actual video, not in the timeline. Let me show you what I mean. If I select it in the video, it automatically selects it in the timeline. However, the opposite is not true. If I select it in the timeline, it doesn't automatically select it in the video. Why? I have no clue. Ask Adobe. I don't know. But that's the way it works. Okay, so the first technique is simple. Select it in your video, your text, go to graphics, scroll down to align, and now you can align it based on, your standard aligning principles. Central, vertical, horizontal, top, bottom. You understand how that works. Okay, so let's, for argument's sake, align it to the center and align it to horizontally center. Okay, perfect. Now I've created my wonderful title block thing and it is perfectly centered. Quick and easy, right? If you prefer buttons and that is kind of how you roll, then the next technique is the technique for you. Now again, you need to be in the editing workspace, okay? This was where I found information, and as somebody who's never used it, I was like, what are these clowns talking about? I don't understand. So let me help. The first thing you need to do is actually make sure that you've got the correct window open, because if you don't have the correct window open, then everything I'm about to say is just going to go through one ear and out the other, because it's going to sound like static. Okay, so the first step, go to window, okay, and make sure that essential graphics is clicked. It is has that little blue tick next to it. Right now mine doesn't. I've done that intentionally for the sake of the video so that I can show you what happens. Okay, when I click essential graphics, we get this very confusing looking folder thing pop up. Okay, it says essential oh, hello, saving project. Okay, it says essential graphics. I don't fully understand it yet, so again, bear with me. I'm just focusing on the text tool or the how to align thing. For the sake of example, let's just unalign this. Okay, perfect. Once you have essential graphics open, you'll get this really weird looking browse section. Okay, we don't need that. Here's the catch though. When I go into the edit section, there is nothing there, because apparently, from what I've gathered so far, how this works is that we have to have something selected in order to see it in the edit dialog. I want to call it a dialog box. I'm so used to dialog boxes from Photoshop. The edit window. Okay, so I'm selecting it. Let's just go here. See, if I deselect it, but I've got it selected in the timeline, so selected in the timeline but not selected here, it gives me options. Okay, so I'm assuming I could have multiple text assets selected at once. If I select it in the timeline, it opens it up for me, all the information about that. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Select it in the video, and over here we have our align and transform tools. So vertical center, horizontal center, align top, bottom, etc, etc, etc. Okay, I want it still to be vertical and horizontally centered, so vertical center, horizontal center, and deselect. Okay, it's like an extra step if you don't want to go through the menus and if you don't have shortcuts, but it is important and helpful to know that you can do it in two different ways. And if you've got a lot of stuff to center, I imagine that having Essential Graphics open is actually very helpful, simply because you don't have to constantly go back to graphics and then align and then make sure it's selected. You can just, you know, select, align, boom, go, boom, go. You know, it's, if you're editing a heck of a lot of stuff, this is probably a much better way to do it. But yeah, guys, I hope that helped you. Have an awesome one, guys. Please do help my channel out. I need your love. If you found this helpful, please do give me a thumbs up, put this in your liked videos and refer back to it at some other point in time. You know, subscribe. I promise to try my best to upload as many videos as possible. I'm actually looking at Premiere Pro so that I can start uploading a lot more consistently, because it means that I can edit the videos much faster. I put a lot of love into my editing. I want to make sure it's helpful for you guys. So yeah, please send some love back my way if you're feeling so inclined. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, evening, afternoon. Happy New Year, Christmas. I'm not sure when you're watching this, but have an awesome one. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers. Bye-bye.